Direction is key to everything we do in life, and for a surveyor, it's a key aspect. You can't take away direction from a surveyor's work. Now, imagine having a map and you can't tell what is where and where is what. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm hosting this episode. I'm Daniel Wainena. As I said earlier, direction is a key aspect. And today, when you speak of direction, what comes in mind? Maps and compasses. Well, do I want to mean that people who didn't have maps and compasses were lost? No. Why? Because they had other ways of going to places, getting to places, and finding their routes to those places of trading. But they needed an expert to guide them. And those experts would use things such as landmarks, sun compasses to get to their locations. The technology of compasses was in China and was not used until the late 11th century. This meaning they had the technology but they couldn't use it. Why? Because the compass technology, they used it as a fortune-telling object or an object to detect rare gems or places of farming and building houses. This limited how they used the compass technology because then it wasn't described as a compass. It was a south-pointing fish by the Chinese. But later, nearing the 8th and 11th century, the Chinese were trading on the routes towards Europe and towards the Arab nations, and they exchanged trade items. And the things they exchanged was the technology of a compass. Now, a misinterpretation happened, and the Arab nation interpreted the south-pointing fish as a compass, a guiding tool towards direction. And I'm glad this misinterpretation happened. Why? Because it's what led to the journey of us now getting to where we are today with the compass. The south-pointing fish was used by many Arabs to get to Mecca, the worship center, and also an Egyptian astronomer who used the same technology for directions. One person who testifies to this fact is Alexander Neckam. On his route from France to England, he stated that on a letter that he found it strange with the sailors he were sailing with because they would ignore the sun because on days it wasn't appearing, and still they would go on with the direction. Little did he know and came to the realization that they were having a bowl of water and a fish pointing item that they would swirl around, wait for it to settle, and it would point directly to the north, and that would give them the course of direction. These bowl and fish were hard to carry on the ground, and this became a major problem because it would only be efficient to use the bowl and water and the pointing fish on the sea. A major development happened, and this is a dry compass. A dry compass was developed to compensate the major difficulties of carrying the bowl and water. The dry compass had a free pointing needle which was encased in a glass-like structure which would prevent it from being swayed around by wind. The needle was attached to a pivot point. On this pivot point, it was fixed by wax. But now, the problem was that this dry compass was not economical. The dry compass had a major improvement on it because it had a magnetic card inside it. And this magnetic card was having indications of where the north is and where the south is. With this development, it wasn't hard to come by the bearing compass. Now, the bearing compass gives the direction of bearings. And what is a bearing? A bearing is the direction from the north in the clockwise direction that gives you the bearing of a point. The problem with the dry compass was that it would swing a lot, and these swings made it to be uneconomical as the damage and tear would increase as the days went by. This issue led to a major discovery and invention by an American physicist, Edward Samuel. Edward Samuel came up with an idea of a liquid compass, but remembering the fact that the water and a fish pointer were difficult to carry by, he improved the design. The design was later improved by Captain Crick and was rolled out for use to enhance the navigation precision as it was a time of war. But one person wasn't satisfied with the design. Why? Because it had a mounted protractor below it, and this protractor made it so that you had a compass and a protractor which were separate, and you could use the protractor to get the bearing. This made it tedious to get the bearing on either a map or to point to a point. The person who was not satisfied with this design was Gunner T. Lander. Gunner T. Lander discovered that he could improve this design. He was an instrument maker, but at the time he was unemployed. So he saw it as an opportunity to come up with a design that would well suit and then cross a protractor inside the compass. He developed a design and went to 3 brothers. 2 of them were Alvin and Alva. The 4 of them greatly improved the design, and in 1932 the Silver Company was formed. Now the Silver Company rolled out the Silver Orienting Compass. This compass was greatly improved and was easy to carry with. Now the Silver Compass had a magnetic card in it which was used to derive bearings and was easy to carry by and making efficient work with. But a surveyor by the name Thomas Volney saw it a great opportunity to increase the efficiency of the compass. And how so? By introducing a right-weighted celluloid compass and compassed in a capsule. This compass was rolled out in 1936. The design by Thomas Volney was a great hit in the market because it was efficient and easy to carry by, and the design is similar to a compass that we have to date, as a simple compass to carry by and work with. And that is how the compass development by the ages happened. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content. Thank you. See you on the next one.